They said they would gather to protest, and gather they did. Syrian Palestinians came down the hill towards Israel's border by the hundreds. Their aim? To cross the razor wire fence and come into Israeli territory, land they say is theirs and that Israel took from them in 1967. But Israel's government wasn't having it. The Prime Minister reiterated several times before the day's events, protesters were here to mark Naksa Day, the date in 1967 when Israel took control of Syrian land in the Golan Heights.
Protesters creep close to the border here, and the Israeli army retaliates with live ammunition fire.
At least a dozen Syrian protesters were wounded, half a dozen killed. Locals who live along the border gathered by the hundreds, cheering support for their brethren. Some, relatives they were separated from 44 years ago.
The moment now, how it's no peace here. The all time talking about peace, but the peace is liar. No peace. Israel don't take care for peace.
Despite the threat of being wounded or killed, protesters were bold, placing Syrian flags along Israel's border fence. They chanted in unison and prayed. Fear didn't seem to factor in.
I think, yes, I think it's a good thing. You know why? We are talking about people who were evicted from their houses, and they have the right to demonstrate this.
Similar Naksa protests were held in the West Bank and Gaza, and the prediction is that with the build-up to declaration of independent Palestinian statehood in September, more of the same is yet to come.
Despite repeated warnings, razor wire fence, and live ammunition being fired into these protesters, resulting in people being wounded and killed, they keep coming down the hill behind me, saying they're going to keep coming until they get back to their land. Stephanie Fried, CCTV, the Golan Heights.